Now we will discuss about different traffic studies. Okay, so generally, whenever traffic studies is considered, it is divided into following subsection. First one is traffic flow, then spot speed, then speed and delay analysis, origin and destination analysis, parking analysis, and accident study. So these are the different traffic studies which we will consider. So in this chapter, we will discuss about the traffic flow. Now, traffic flow is the study of the movement of individual drivers and vehicles between 2 points and the interactions they make with one another. Suppose there are one road section is there and two sections are there. So in the traffic flow or volume study, we will consider about the different vehicles moving over that particular place. Okay, so if you want to define the traffic flow, then traffic flow is defined as the number of vehicle which passes through a particular section or particular cross section of a road in unit time. Okay, suppose this is the road section and this is that particular cross section of the road. So your traffic flow is number of vehicles which process that particular section in unit time. So generally it is expressed as vehicle per hour. Vehicle per hour. So vehicle per hour means how many vehicles process that particular section of the road in 1 hour. So that is traffic flow. Now studying traffic flow is very difficult because a driver behavior is something that cannot be predicted. It is totally unpredictable. However, drivers tend to behave within a reasonably consistent range and thus traffic stream tend to have some reasonable consistency and can be roughly represented mathematically. So there are different traffic simulation models where you will interpret about the traffic volume exist over there. Generally, it is found that a trend of the traffic can be observed if you draw the trend of the traffic by some bar diagram where this y-axis denote as the traffic and x-axis as time. Here it is number of vehicle. So in that case, in that train, you can observe some peak at the morning time and some peak at the evening time. Generally, these two peaks are called as morning and evening peak. Generally, these two peak occurs because of the office timing during that area. Okay, so this morning peak is basically because of the rush of the traffic in the working hours to go to the office, and this evening peak is because of the returning of all the vehicles from their respective office to their respective homes. Okay, so for this reason, two peaks can be observed in the traffic flow analysis. One is morning peak and another one is evening peak. The traffic flow characteristics shows the dynamic change at different time intervals throughout the day, as I discussed. Although traffic flow by its nonlinear nature is complex, traffic congestion can be a certain extent predicted and controlled as the drivers tend to behave within the stream range. So you from this figure you can easily visualize that when a traffic congestion or what are the possibilities of a traffic congestion, okay, or when the traffic conditions may appear depending on the different time of the day and depending on the different conditions present in the road section. Now the traffic flow theory classified the traffic movement in the network into two main streams. One is interrupted flow and another one is uninterrupted flow. Now in the uninterrupted flow, it can be defined as all the flow regulated by vehicle to vehicle interactions and interactions between the vehicle and the roadway, such as the traffic in the highway. So in the highway, what happens? You can suppose that road section in the highway is empty. In that case, a driver have the all this capacity to move his vehicle in his way. Okay, he can adopt to any of the speed. He can change his lane whenever it is required. So this type of flow where the traffic movement is not interrupted by the other vehicles or different characteristics of the roadway section, that type of flow is called uninterrupted flow. So some of the characteristics of the uninterrupted flow are there is no control access. So main important thing is there is no control access. So basically control access means there should not be any intersections, there should not be any signaling system, etc. Okay, so all these things will be depending on the driver, and the driver can adhere to any of the speed. He can change his lane whenever it is required, and he can maneuver the vehicle as per his requirement. It can be seen in freeways and long section of the road highways. Uh, please, some of you have okay. Please mute yourself. Otherwise, some echo generated. So there are no traffic signals as I discussed. Okay, no traffic signals, no intersections. Now, stream characteristics depend on geometric design, vehicles and others. So if your vehicle is new, if the power of the vehicle is high, in that case you can go for a higher speed. So these type of things are affected the uninterrupted flow. So basically uninterrupted flow is a flow where the driver has total control of their vehicle. Then coming to the next portion, interrupted flow. So in the interrupted flow, all the flows are regulated by an external means such as traffic signals. So here the movement of the traffic or movement of the vehicle is interrupted by different elements like traffic signals, stopping and restarting points, and for this some platoons may happen. So what is platoon? Suppose this is a road section. Okay, in the road section, suppose a particular portion of the road section is occupied with some heavy vehicles or some construction materials or with the or some any other obstructions. So in that case, what will happen whenever vehicles are over in this place? In that case, their width of this section is more than the width of this particular section. So whenever a vehicle just pass over there, in that case it will force to reduce its speed because of the obstruction nearby. So for these reasons, all the other vehicles behind this particular vehicle will also need to reduce its speed and to maintain a safe distance between the different vehicles. So in this way, a line of vehicles will be created which will be leaded by one vehicle or two vehicles and followed by other vehicles. This is called basically platoons of vehicles. So the definition of the traffic flow is it is the number of vehicles crossing a section of road per unit time at any selected period or at any given time, as we have discussed this, and it is used as a quantity measure of flow and commonly expressed as vehicles per day or vehicles per hour. Generally, we will express this as a vehicle per hour. Now, coming to the next portion, what are the objectives of this traffic volume study? So, first one is it is generally accepted as a true measure of the relative importance of the road and deciding priority for improvement and extension. So, what does this mean? That true measure of the relative importance of the road. Suppose there are five or two roads are there or three roads are there. Okay. So if we compare these roads, we can compare the importance of the road in terms of traffic flow. If the traffic flow in a particular road section is higher than the other roads, in that case, that particular road section is much more important than the other road sections. Okay, so in this way, this traffic flow studies will enable us to prioritize our section of the road and implementing different resources to that particular road section to improve that portion. Then it is used in planning traffic operation and control of existing facilities and also for planning the new facilities. Suppose that traffic flow is higher in a particular road section, and if uh, some intersection come up in that road portion, in that case you need to suitably design the intersection considering the number of vehicles. If the number of vehicles are very much less, in that case a simple intersection may do the work. Now if the number of vehicles are increasing, in that case some traffic police can uh, take control of that particular area. Okay, now if the traffic volume or traffic flow is higher than the previous case, in that case you can go with rotary intersection. Now if that is higher than the required rotary intersection, in that case you can go for the overbridges and underpasses. Now it used in the analysis of traffic patterns and trends. So trends means when the traffic volume or traffic flow would be higher and when it would be lower, and considering all these facts you can regulate the movement of the vehicle. Useful in the structural design of the pavement. That is useful because as the number of vehicles increases, in that case, the load carrying capacity of the road section that also need to be higher. So in this way, it is also useful in structural design of the pavement. Then pedestrian traffic volume study is used for the planning sidewalk, crosswalk, subway and pedestrian signals. So different type of pedestrian facilities can be accommodated inside the or within the road section with the help of pedestrian traffic volume study. Pedestrian traffic volume study is the similar as the vehicular traffic, but here we will only consider the pedestrian. Okay, we'll consider the how much pedestrian crosses a particular section of the road. That is pedestrian traffic volume. Now, traffic volume count. How we count the traffic volume. So traffic volume count can be achieved by systematic traffic survey and traffic study, and their analysis is also required for the future improvement of the road and imparting any changes to the current road section. Now traffic survey, also called traffic census, includes type of traffic, size and weight of the different vehicles, traffic flow, then traffic volume per hour or per day or per year. Now, including seasonal variations and annual variations. Seasonal variation means depending on the season, traffic volume may changes. Okay, then distribution in different parts of road network, that how this total traffic in a city are distributed among the road networks available in the city, and distribution in different direction at the intersection. Okay, suppose one intersection is there. So in the intersection, how many vehicles are going in that direction, how many vehicles are going in the direction. So like that, that is the directional movement of the traffic into different uh, directions or different locations. So for the traffic volume study, as there are different type of vehicles, therefore to generalize the traffic volume study, all the vehicle classes are converted into single class. Okay, and this is called passenger car unit. That is, all type of vehicles are mathematically converted to passenger car, and that is called passenger car unit. So, for example, for the passenger car unit, the passenger car unit for the reference is our passenger car. Okay, all or our small cars, personal cars. So the passenger car unit for the small car is considered as 1, and the PCU values for the other type of vehicles are calculated depending on their speed and their dimensions and other characteristics. So for example, if the PCU of a bus is 2 or 3, it indicates that it is as 3 times, okay, more present than the passenger car. So in this way, different types of vehicles are converted into one single unit, and it is called passenger car unit. Then there are different methods for the traffic volume study or traffic flow study. First one is manual method. So you will manually count the number of vehicles crossing a particular section of the road. Now, manual counts are generally used to gather data for determinations of vehicle classification, turning movement, direction of travel, pedestrian movements, and vehicle occupancy. The most applications of the manual counts require small samples of data at any given location, because by manual count you cannot gather a or collect a large set of data. It is not possible. So for the manual count, what happens? Suppose a road section is there. So a manual counter will be staying or placed in the roadside, and he will place one mark across the road, and he will count the number of vehicles in the different direction along with their type of the vehicle. Okay, so he needs one tabular form of data where in here it would be number of vehicles, and sorry, here it would be type of vehicle, and here it would be number of vehicles. So during his entire time, he will count the number of vehicles which are coming from different directions along with the reference to the direction. Suppose there are buses, 5 buses are there. So for buses, he will write as 5. Okay, suppose cars are there, there are 20 numbers of cars, he will write as 20. So like that, he will count the number of vehicles which are crossing that particular section. Okay, so if there are different movement of the traffic, in that case, we will make another column. One would be like northbound, and another one would be southbound traffic or eastbound or westbound traffic depending on the direction of the road, and he can marks the number of different vehicles in different directions which are moving or which are crossing that particular section of the roadway. So in such way that traffic volume count or manual count is conducted. Now another thing, as it is not possible to go for a higher data in the manual count method, or it is not possible to collect a large number of data by the manual count method. So in this case, what happens? You will consider 15 minutes in each and every 1 hour. Okay, during that 15-minute time only, you will collect the data. Okay, suppose you want to collect the traffic data of 12 hours. Okay, suppose the 12 hours is from 6 to 6. Okay, so you will divide this time into different hours because you need the hourly variation of the data. So here one would be 6 to 7, then 7 to 8, then 8 to 9. Okay, like that you will divide the total durations in hourly duration. Now in 1 hour you cannot collect the data by manual count method. Okay, at a stretch you cannot collect by the manual count method. So for this reason, what you can do, you can select at least 15 minutes from this 1 hour, again 15 minutes from this another 1 hour, and again 15 minutes from this 1 hour, like that. Okay, and you will collect data only for the 15 minutes, and after that you will convert that 15 minutes data into 1 hour data by mathematical calculations. For example, suppose you got a 50 vehicles per 15 minutes. Okay, so if you need to convert this data into vehicle per hour, in that case vehicle per hour would be 50 into 60 minutes divided by 50, that is 200 vehicles per hour. Okay, in this way you can convert the 15-minute data into vehicle per hour data. Now, manual counts are necessary when automatic equipment is not available. Now, manual counts are typically used for period less than 1 day, and normal intervals for a manual count are 5 minutes, 10 minutes or 15 minutes. That is, within an hour you can decide for the manual count for 5 minutes time or 10 minutes time or 15 minutes time. Now, generally, there are different preconditions for the manual count. Generally, we will avoid the manual counting during the weekend time. Okay, weekend time, and you can avoid the manual counting during the Monday rush hour. Why it is so? Because generally the weekend time, uh, maximum or some of the users of the road traffic will go to their home. So in the Monday during the rush time, they will come to their home city, and it will create a traffic congestions over that time. So for this reason, generally manual counting method is applicable during the Tuesday, Wednesday or Thursday. Okay, again Friday you will avoid this because Saturday and Sunday is weekend, and in the Friday in the evening hour there will be a rush to go to the particular home city of the different users. Now, a manual classified count involves counting all the vehicles passing a selected location on a road for a predetermined period of time. Now, the count is conducted by person standing at the roadside and recording passing vehicles on a form. Okay, that I have already discussed. They will record all the relevant data in a form, and that is called manual traffic count. So this count records individual vehicles by categories. Categories means whether there is a truck, whether there is a bus, whether there is a trailer unit, or whether there is a passenger car, and the direction they are traveling in. Now, this is the reason it is called as classified count. Now, what are the advantage of the manual count? So, advantage are you can collect different details through the manual count. Details such as vehicle classification and number of occupants can be obtained. Records of turning movement data of the vehicles at the intersection that can also be collected. Turning movements means which vehicles are moving in which directions in an intersection. Then analyzing traffic characteristics in unusual conditions such as adverse weather conditions, traffic breakdowns, temporary closure of any highway portion, etc. And basically, as it's the manual method, so comparatively it is cheaper, and Data accumulated by manual methods are easy to analyze. They are ready to use data and you can easily handle them. Now, what are the disadvantages? First disadvantage is you cannot collect a large number of data. Okay, it is not practically possible to manually count the traffic for a 24-hour time. And counts of remote areas are possible by automatic devices only. And another disadvantage is suppose you want to manually count the number of traffic data, and suppose this road is 2 or 5 lane data and this is your section. In that case, suppose different vehicles are moving along together in a particular line. In that case, it will be very much difficult to count in the manual method. Okay. Now, to counteract this fact, another method you can adopt, and that is called semi-automatic method. So, in that method, what happens? You will put one video camera over there, okay, and record the entire movement of the traffic during a particular 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 15 minutes interval of time. Okay, after collecting the video, you can extract the video in your home where you can simply pause and play the video and easily get the correct number of vehicles which are crossing a particular direction or which crosses a particular section. Okay, so this method is advantageous as it is very much accurate, and in the field you don't have to think about anything. Okay, so basically you collect the data from the field and you will extract the data in your home only. Then automatic counters. So in the automatic counters, they will automatically count the number of vehicles. So the mechanism is, suppose this is a road. So along this road, some sensors will be placed. The sensors may be with the for one particular tube or some video camera or some any other thing. So generally, a well-accepted automatic counting method is pneumatic tube method. So in the pneumatic tube, one tube is placed across the road section. So whenever a vehicle is crossing that particular pneumatic tube, in that case, it will count the vehicle. Okay, and this classification of the vehicle is also can be done with the help of weight of the vehicle. So the instrument placed in the instrument panel has the data of weight of different types of vehicles. So based on the weight ranges available in the machine, they will they can categorically count the different type of vehicles which process that particular section. Automatic counts are easily taken in 1 hour interval for each 24-hour period, and you can collect huge number of data with the help of automatic counters. Now these counts may for the automatic counters may be extend for week, month or year. Okay, so you can take the yearly data also from the automatic counter method. So this automatic counts records using one of the three methods. So one is portable counters, another one is permanent counters, and another one is video tape. So in the portable counters, portable counting is form of manual observation. Basically, that is a form of advanced manual observation. Portable counters serve the same purpose as manual counts but with automatic counting equipments. Okay, so in the portable counting machines, you place some portable counters over there and they will collect the data and they will count the number of vehicles automatically over that place. So we have discussed about the pneumatic road tubes. So basically these pneumatic road tubes are one of the portable counters method. Then coming to the next, permanent counters. Now permanent counters are used when long-term counts need to be collected. The counts could be performed every day for a year or more. So large number of data can be collected by permanent counters. So how it can be done? This can be done by applying different methods like one section of the road is there. Suppose here one pole is there. Over the pole you attached on video camera or any devices, and beside this one control room would be there. Okay, so this video camera or some radar gun or some infrared views are used in the permanent counters method. So whenever a vehicle crosses that particular section of the road, in that case the automatic counter or permanent counters will automatically measure the number of vehicles in different direction. Then video tape or video photography, so that we have already discussed. We have put one video camera beside the road, and that video, from the video recording we can easily found out what is the number of vehicles which are crossing that particular section of the road. Okay, that we have already discussed. That is a semi-automatic method. Now these are the automatic traffic counters classifier. So they may be fixed or permanent or portable type as we have discussed. So old methods of automatic counters is by effect of impulses on a pneumatic hose placed across the road section. So one pneumatic tube would be placed over there, that is a particular type of tube, and in that tube some sensors could be added. So whenever a vehicle crosses that particular sensor, then it will be counted. Then modern sensing technique, like different techniques like infrared or some video automatic video counters like that, then it can work throughout and record exact time and speed of the vehicles and lane occupancy. So from the automatic counters we will get maximum data. From the manual counting we only get the traffic volume data, but from the automatic counters we will get traffic volume and traffic speed data. But the main drawback of the automatic counter is that cannot give the details of turning movements in the intersection and the vehicle occupancy, that is how many passengers are there in a particular vehicle. That data cannot be derived from the automatic counting methods. See, these are the traffic volume count. This is the automatic method. See here one display is there. So whenever a user crosses that particular section, then it will be counted. Now this portion, these are the pneumatic tube. Okay, this pneumatic tube would be attached to some control room. Whenever a vehicle crosses that pneumatic tube, in that case it will count the number of vehicles over that section. Then another method is there that is called moving observer method. So in this method, an observer in a car moves along with the traffic and against the traffic to count the number of vehicles he met. So in that case, what happens? Suppose you want to do a moving observer method. In that case, you hire one vehicle and you will move along the traffic. Okay, and you will count the number of vehicles which you encountered. So that is called moving observer method. So is it clear?